The question is, how am I going to keep the work of the California MTSS moving forward? And I think really the best answer to that question is to make sure that I'm looking at the work that I do through a wider lens and really ensuring that anything that I do is going to help benefit students. Really taking a more critical look at a couple of things. Really seeing who the work is going to benefit. Is it benefiting our students? Is it benefiting our educators? Does it truly fit within the California MTSS framework? Is it culturally responsive? Does it fit UDL? And then just really taking that practice of the PDSA, trying to improve one thing at a time. I was recently reading a book about atomic change and really taking that 1%. And it might be something that seems incredibly insignificant at the time, but that one small tweak is the beginning of something big, and really making the next tweak, and always working towards the goal of equity, of predictability, safety, really making sure that schools and the systems that we place in schools are equitable, and we know that they're not all one size fits all. So in my work, as far as restorative practices program lead, that's the beauty of restorative practices, is that it fits within the California MTSS framework because of that tiered logic model. So it really does have embedded in the RP continuum supports for students who need those tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 supports. So in order for all students to be successful, we need to make sure that the frameworks and the initiatives that we are implementing, they have that already layered into those systems. So without trying to recreate the wheel, we can absolutely modify some of the things that we're already doing, and really advocating for system change for all of our students. So something that I'm looking forward to doing is really gathering that information. It might be as far as, finding surveys, finding studies, but really finding the evidence so that we can start truly pushing some of these things, such as SEL, into our classrooms. So having our students feel connected, feeling safe, allowing them that opportunity to succeed academically, and normalizing talking about our feelings, having those hard conversations. So as far as priority areas to focus on, I'm really looking at those small changes. So continuing my PDSA cycles, really making sure that I'm listening to the needs of our educators, aligning those needs to the California MTSS framework, collecting data, implementing the programs and the practices that I've learned about, really taking a critical look at what I'm already doing, and building in that capacity for our system and for adults. So next steps would be having a greater platform so we can really influence others in doing this work. So as a trainer, I do have the opportunity to speak with educators throughout the year. I have actually already, I've already added the California MTSS framework into the educator presentation that I do for my program, and really highlighting how well restorative practices fits in with that, and letting educators know that this is not something else that we are adding to their plate. This really does help proliferate programs, as well as as well as that longevity piece. We want to make sure that what we create, what we're building, is going to be sustainable, and it is going to continue beyond ourselves. Because it would be awful for us to put in all of this work to create something, and then as soon as we move on to the next position, or we move schools, it leaves with us. It just disappears. So really making sure that what I'm doing is explicit, so that it's easy to recreate, as easy as possible, and making sure I'm having those types of conversations with my supervisor. I'm making those connections as I'm working, so there's so many parallels that I've found, and I look forward to continuing these conversations, really being able to make those connections and make sure that the California MTSS is a system that is in place, so that I can continue to do the work that I do in a way that that really speaks the same language as other educators across the state. I think that consistency is key, and this course really did help me understand the work from other educators, other programs, and being able to look at it with a more critical eye, as opposed to just accepting everything that comes down the pipeline. So I did enjoy it, and thank you.